What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We are back for a bit more league racing action here on F1 2017. This is AOR Oceania F2. Of course, AOR is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. Create, play, share with Elgato Gaming and Hype Energy Drinks. If you're not hyped, get hyped with Hype Energy Drinks. Here's a reminder of the championship standings. I've got a 13-point gap over Zombie Hunter, Laggy in third, Sly in fourth, and Owen's currently fifth. Constructors, Ferrari, 69-point gap over for Renault, Haas there in fourth, and Sauber and over Red Bull, even though they're still equal on points. But like I said, we're here for the Malaysian Grand Prix. The final time we'll be here on the Malaysian Grand Prix on an F1 game, for the time being anyway. We don't know whether it will come back anytime soon. But on the top right, you'll be able to see the results from last season. Owen's won from Preet and R8, and DT got his first ever pole position here. So could he go back-to-back here? Because this is one of his favourite circuits. Let's find out. Let's go qualifying. So here we are here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Perfect skies really for around the circuit of Sepang. Was predicting maybe it was going to be a little bit wet for this race for the weekend, but I think you'll find when we get to the race it may be a little bit finer. I did have a little quick look, obviously pre going out for these hot laps, of course, but here we go, off for the first flying lap anyway. A little brake lock up going into turn one there, which probably lost me a little bit of time, but as we come a bit further on through the lap, turn 7 and 8, it was probably the 7 especially was the absolute shocker. I ran wide, missed my apex by a long way, and that's cost me a bunch of time here, as well as locking up here into turn 9, which really has compromised my run especially. So like I always do, thankfully, I always fuel for 2 laps, so I knew the first lap was going to be a bit of a rubbish lap anyway. So instead of 1:33.2, not brilliant. I think you'd be wanting to go into like the 32s or the 31s. I think, like I mentioned in the last one, in the last season's results, going off last season's results, I think there was like a 31.9. So you'd be wanting to go in the low 30s, 31s, I should say. Sly went for a provisional pole for the time being, but run 2, we go what do we go up here? Not bad, 4/100s. I mean. Wasn't too thrilled. I probably compromised my line a little bit going into turn 2 there. Now DT, obviously the man who got pole last year, has got a provisional pole for now, but you can see him have a much better run there. That was the other Red Bull of Michi getting out of the road there. Much better run through 7 and 8. Trying to get a much better run here through 9. It's a little bit better, not brilliant, but it did cost me a little bit of time there. I'm actually down by 1.5 tenths really, and this corner here, I mean, if you go back to last season, it was a dreaded corner of mine. It still is, and it pretty much, well, I decided after that running wide there to abort the lap and just come straight back in. So, I mean, I was trying my absolute best to like get the right setup, but to hold on to this championship lead, because like I probably said in the last one in Austria, this is where I want to stay for the rest of the season, and I really don't want to give up the points lead as best I can, but yeah, obviously doing the normal thing, putting on another set of super soft tyres and chucking out all the fuel, getting the lowest fuel. You can see there DT's got the fastest first and third sector, Sly got the second sector, but there's a few guys, my teammate especially hasn't set a lap time, but we're currently obviously P9. Laggy in P8 is probably a little bit of a surprise as well. I was expecting him to do a little bit better around this joint as well, but we're going to have to wait and see if we can improve a bit later on. But so you can see Spagbowl's actually retired from the session. If you probably looked a little bit closely, you would have seen his car just go flying off straight up to the corner as we're coming up to right now. We'll go have a look at a few replays, excuse me, a bit later on, but yeah, this is going to be my fastest lap here around Malaysia. It's probably not going to be the best, but I'm going to give it a damn try. So obviously try to get the best run coming out of the final corner. Now sizing up turn 1. The sun's not really ideal, but this is probably my best run coming through turn 1 especially, and turn 2 as well. Had a much better run compared to the first couple of runs especially. So now going to size up this long right-hander into turn 4 now. There we go. purple, but not the fastest sector. We do go purple by about 0.176. So now going to size up this fast left-right hander who can crawl you a little bit if you get it wrong. Thankfully, I do get it right. I probably have a lot more higher rear wing just to cope with that. Now 7 and 8, got to cope with getting it through there. The DT goes provisional pole again, so he's looking very good to be on track for a back-to-back poles around Malaysia. But that's dropped us to P11. They're coming around sector 2. We go about, 4/10 quicker. So this is looking like a pretty good lap. It nearly ruined the lap completely there coming out of turn 11, I think it is. Not turn, yeah, it is turn 11, my bad. The exit of turn 11. That curve really caught me out big time there. Had a much better run through 14 there. Now sizing up this back straight here, coming into the final corner. I think 11 probably cost me a lot of time there. I probably would have gone a heck of a lot quicker had I not stuffed up there. Probably would have been battling the guys up the front. But we've come across the front straight off to the finish line now as we're going to set a 1:32.24, which is about a second quicker than what my quickest time was previously. So it put us in P3 for now, but I knew there was a few guys left that would improve their times, but I wasn't sure how much they would improve it by, so I retired from the session anyway. But let's have a look at the qualifying comparison. This is on board. We've got DT360ONEX on the left and Zombie Hunter on the right. So I'm going to compare these guys going into turn 1 for the whole lap around Sepang. You see there, DT getting very tight there. Zombie getting very tight as well. Probably DT avoided the curb a little bit more. Zombie took a lot more curb than DT. Now going to size up here into turn 4. Going to get a nice run out of here. Pretty even on the curbs. I think DT probably sacrificed a little bit to avoid running over that exit curb. Now sizing up this left right-hander here. Getting very close out there. Nice run through there. Now 7 and 8. Zombie runs a little bit wide coming out of between 7 and 8. Probably cost him a little bit here, but he can probably make it up a little bit later on as the DT runs very wide there. Zombie takes the, you can tell, the preferred racing line, of course, but put DT purple, obviously sector 2. Nice run there, a bit more exit curve there for Zombie. Now I'm going to size up this dreaded corner, I like to call it, into turn 14. Nice and easy. Zombie took a lot more curb. It's still pretty even at this stage. Now coming down this back straight. Whoever blinks first here at the final corner is probably going to have the advantage coming around here. So the Zombie a lot more tighter line compared to DT. Comes around a long way, but you see there's literally nothing in it. But DT set a 1:31.782 and Zombie set a 1:31.790. So 8 1,000ths between these two for pole position, which obviously DT got in the end. So that'll probably give even back-to-back poles around Malaysia. So a great effort from DT, but you could tell how tight this category's become, especially after the last round in Austria. It was so tight between most of us. But this is going to explain what happened with Spagbol. Okay, that looked very weird there. So I was on board with my teammate who was about to start his final run. So this is probably what started it. So actually he ran wide at that dreaded corner. And he's probably...
Ross, happy birthday for the week 260. Congratulations.
That was on board. Thanks to Penske for his spectator footage as well. But and thank you to the audio there. Probably won't get copyrighted. Oh, slide. That was a little bit awkward. And that was coming out of the pit lane. That's just ruins Mitchie's flying lap there. But he's on board with Laggy. He's down in P11. And he's still on his flying lap here coming around the final turn. Oh, he's got the curb and he's off. And that's his qualifying done. He can't improve. So he's going to be starting way outside the top 10. This is not great for the man third in the championship especially. So like I said, DT got poles of Zombie, Exodono in third. In the end, finished up P7. Not the best, I'll admit, but I could have gone a little bit quicker. But my teammate there in P9, like I said, Laggy actually finished up P12. So he's got a lot of work to do just to have any shot of still being in this championship hunt. But hopefully it's better race pace, but it's time to go racing here at the Malaysian Grand Prix. Righto, welcome to the grid for the Malaysian Grand Prix under perfect skies as well. It'll be possibly the final time for the time being, like I said earlier. It's an easy one stop here. You can get away with the medium tyres if you got good pace on them, but I was so confident on the soft tyres I could get away with it. But here we go. We're all set, I think, for round number 12. We'll have my teammates' point of view as well. Here at the Malaysian Grand Prix, 5 red lights. It's a very long hole, but let's do it around Sepang for the final time for the time being. It's well, not the greatest of starts, especially for me. My teammate's got a better view of my perspective here. Let's see what happens in a turn 1. DT looks like he's leading comfortably. Exodona putting a lot of pressure here on the Zombie. I'm still hanging around the outside, as does my teammate, as they're getting a little bit of a touch there from the Sly. Got DLG Gamble there on the left there. They just have to squeeze him out a little bit, but let's drop this back into, I think, P6. So we only gained one spot there. I think Gamble actually had a look up the inside there. Probably can tell on the top right of his screen. Didn't really work there. Now he's under a bit of attack, I think, from Formula Dragster. Running very wide there, coming through that left-right hander. There's full commitment between those two there. Running a bit wide. Oh, Dragster nearly gets tangled with Owens. That would have been a bit awkward if they had actually tangled, but that was a very tight corner. Somehow Gamble got through on Formula Dragster, I should say. Had a little look at the slide there, but I mean, it's early on this race. A lot could happen during this race, but there's definitely going to be a fair few battles throughout this whole field. Now coming through turn, I think, 12 now. I don't think Sly looks quite comfortable at this stage. I could be completely wrong. That's just what I thought from my point of view, but just sitting comfortably here. Now beginning lap 2, Exodona is set the provisional fastest up the race. Still sitting behind there, had a little bit of a look. Actually, Mitch is red Xing there, so and actually put Sly and myself, you can just tell there, it really put us off big time there. And it's probably lost us a lot of time there. You can tell Mitch, he's actually had a bit of a desync there, and he's actually back up the road there, so it is a little bit of an awkward moment for the both of us. Probably lost out a bit of time there, but we still held on to our positions. Probably could have got the Sly had I not had to have the issues with Mitchie there, but the Sly is running a little bit wide coming out of 6 there. But now coming around the final corner now, Zombie looks like he's battling, I think, DT. So I think DT's lost the lead already to Exodona, who's just pulling away. So that's the fastest lap of the race, obviously. These guys are still going on here. It's big DT on the outside, Zombie looking out the inside there. This will nearly be a bunch nearly pretty soon. Exodona's really pulled away from these guys, so there's a lot of weaving going on the front there. This is really helping my cause. So not Gamble, DT and Zombie going side by side through this left-right hander. You can't really, it doesn't really work between two cars as the Zombie's been pushed wide there, and he's lost a couple of spots here. And now he's going to lose a spot to me, obviously, so that's put us up into P5. Now Michi's going to have a look here, trying to get back here on the Sly, who obviously got him earlier on. They did have a think about going up the inside there, but Gamble, I think, has got by Zombie as well. So Zombie's dropping back. Whether he's got damage, I don't know. I think we're in the same party chat, so possibly could have a little bit of damage. I'm not really sure at this stage, but lap 4 we go. Now the Sly's putting a move here on DT for P2, and I think he might do it. Going right around the outside is Sly. He might just have it. Yes, he does. So that puts Sly up into P2. Exodona, like I said, he's way up the road. He's up into turn 4 already compared to all of us. But had a look here at the inside of Mitch. He got a little bit too close there. I'm surprised how I didn't get front wing damage from that. I'm very, very surprised. But just taking it nice and cautiously. He didn't want to burn up the tyres, and Actually, both Red Bulls are run very wide. DT probably the worst of them. Michi running very wide there through 7. We got held up a little bit there. I was completely fine with that at all, but I told Michi I was going to have a dive. Up the inside we go, and there we go. Up the inside and up into P4. So we're now cleared Michi. Now we're going to chase after DT next. Hopefully maybe catch up to the others as well, Sly and even Exodona. So let's have a look at the replays from the start between the top 2, DT and Zombie Hunter. It'll probably be a little bit hard for you to hear, but DT's actually got that weird engines glitch that can happen. If you go back to Belgium last season, I had the exact same glitch, and I think, I can't remember who else had it. But someone had it somewhere else. It might have been another league, I can't really be sure, but as Exodona and Gazelle got the move done on the Zombie Hunter, and you can tell DT, we were in the same, most of us were in the same party chat, but DT, he was just so struggling with this engine sound, and I can vouch for it for sure, but that was Exodona obviously getting past for the race lead. But DT's going to possibly have a look here up the inside into turn 1. No, takes it cautiously. Actually, Exodona ran very wide there. We give him a little bit of a squeeze there. Now trying to do a bit of a crisscross over and under thing, but I think he might just hang on here. Might have a look here up into turn 4. I think DT actually had to go into one of the menus or the start screen, one of the two, and he did eventually get his engine noise back, probably in the next clips anyway. We'll see a bit later on. Here's a replay from Michi's point of view. Not a bad start actually from the Sly. He was actually going to split those two, Zombie and Exodona. Backed out of it, probably because of Dona's bit of lag for Dona, but you can see that. Look at how wide Dona was in a Zombie, and it probably compromised his run there for Zombie, and that was just easy moves for P2. Here's what it looked like from DLG Gamble. So you see there's a little touch there between the Sly and Exodona, so that may have compromised Sly's run big time there. So real bit of a bugger really. Sorry, not real bugger, a real bit of a shame really, but you see that we're banging wheels myself and Gamble. So I just pulled ahead of him for the time being, but you'll see here, I think he goes for a little bit of a late dive bomb here. Yes, he does. Probably risky this early on, but probably had to, because there comes Formula Dragster up the inside. So he had to go right round the outside here. Just give him a little squeeze out, and obviously I pushed him a bit wide, and obviously you know the rest. So let's have a look on board with both the Haas boys. So R8 on the right, he got a lot of wheel spin. Laggy on the left, he's starting with P12, but he did pick the soft tyres, so he's on a different strategy, of course, to everybody else. So he goes up the inside of my teammate, and R8's right around the full outside there, as now these two are going to go side by side here. I think Laggy's now got the momentum here, so Laggy's going to go probably a little bit longer in this race. How far he can go up the grid, who knows, but you see there, got a little bit of a tap from his teammate there. Tried to go right around the outside of my teammate, but in Owens, but he decided against it here, and actually Owens had a shock of a run through that section here. Actually nearly got taken out with Formula Dragster there, but they actually got pushed wide. That explains why Dragster was wide, and that gave R8 the momentum. Let's see what he can look up the inside here. Goes for a very late dive bomb, there's R8. Didn't quite work out, and Laggy just got out of it, I think. So and R8's run very wide here at 11, and that's going to be an easy move there for his teammates. So that's put Laggy up into the points. He's, like I said, he's going to need a bit of a miracle. He needs to gain a bit more championship points just to have a shot in this championship, especially. Now he's got, R8's got a bit of a battle going on here. That's Ikawa's off to the right there. Probably have Spagbowl not too far behind here. Actually, Spagbowl goes for a big dive bomb. Somehow Kiowas manages to avoid it. R8 gets a lot of wheel spin coming off. Well, he got a little bit oversteery coming off the curb there, but lost the spot again to Conrod. I think, yeah, so that's put him back to 14th. Let's see what's going on here in the turn 1. Kiowas runs a little bit wide. Spagbowl as well. So that's Conrod going up the inside here. gets a little bit squeezed from Spagball there. These two have got history, remember, back to, I think, Bahrain. But R8 gets the move done on Kaiwas there, so he might have to sit in behind those guys for now. But he's what, like I said, DT got his engine sound back. Obviously, did a little fix, but this was the battle that was going on between these two, which is happening in front of me. I decided to to show it from my perspective. I thought it was better you see it from both these guys' perspectives. So these guys are going side by side down the front straight. There's literally nothing separating these two between qualifying. There's nothing separating them between the race. You see Zombie trying to go right around the outside. Gives him a little shove to DT, but actually, like I said, DT ran very wide there, and even though that gave Zombie a bit of a run there, it didn't really help. So, yeah, let's see what happens here. DT covering the line here. He was probably still fixing up his engine sounds, but it's a slow right down there. Zombie's going to go right around the outside here, which turns to the inside for this corner, but DT's going to hold on here for now. But, okay, that will explain why Zombie got pushed wide. Well, he literally got pushed wide, and I think he copped a little bit of damage on the front wing, so that would explain a lot. And it was a bit of yellow flags. He used Spagball with no front wing at all, so been a terrible start for Spag. Now it's ball back to go with my teammate, having a little bit of a sideways moment for him. And up the inside goes Formula Dragster, who's gone way too deep there. Might do the crisscross here, does my teammate. So now these two are going to go side by side. There's battles galore going on right up and down the field. You might just have the momentum here. No, Dragster's going to come back here up the inside. But Owen's just trying to get a bit more drive out of this corner here. He's got, I think, Laggy's not too far behind here. Nice straight line speed does Owens compared to Dragster. Might have different setups, who knows, but here goes Dragster, going to look at the inside. Owens having none of this. Might go for over and under, and actually got better drive there. Didn't have quite the momentum, but he might have a look here at the inside here into turn 4 unless Dragster covers, which he doesn't. So he's got the momentum here. Dragster breaks so deep and just manages to hang on to position, and Laggy, like I said, is not too far behind. So these guys are going to be in a fair bit of a battle later on, but Dragster, nice run there, but he runs very wide. Oh, that was so close between these two. And these still going side by side, but now Dragster's run very wide, and that's given Owens the spot finally. So finally cleared him. Oh, Conrad going for a big dive bomb. That was very risky there. Didn't work at all. He's lost 2 spots. Well, you could say he tried to get Spagball and then obviously lost the spots with Spag and R8. But now R8's going to size up Spagball here coming through this left-right hander. But he's running very wide to Spag. Oh my God, that was so close to nearly those two being taken out together. But thankfully R8 survived. I don't know how the hell he would have felt after that, but now he's still battling here with Kaiwas. He's got pretty good pace. We'll point out, of course, this is R8's first race in, I think, 3 events, because he also had wheel issues like myself back in Singapore, but I don't think he had a spare wheel to compete for the last 3 rounds, so he decided to sit out those last 3 rounds especially. So, and I think R8 held on for the time being. Now this is the replay from DT's point of view. He just going very wide there, and up the inside goes to Sly. The DT tried to get back up the inside, but he's in first gear, and that hasn't really worked out at all. And Sly's got a lot of momentum there. That's a pretty easy move there. DT might have a look back up the inside here at turn 4. No, just decides against it, I think. So they're going to settle back down to, I think, P3. You just tell how wide DT ran, and that really cost him momentum there. Back we go, Zombie. He's still battling on, even with a little bit of a damaged front wing. Mitchie having a little sideways moment, and now it's, well, now it's fully damaged now. So yeah, it is a little bit awkward, but that's really compromised Zombie's race now for the moment, as I'm not sure whether Mitchie actually had any damage or not, but Owens and Formula Dragster are still going, but having this battle. But Owen's taking the real defensive line here going to turn one. He's making Dragster go a long way. There's a little bump there. He actually gets a little bit sideways coming through this corner here. So, still coming around down the outside. Now, Dragster may have the momentum here. No, Owens has still got it. We'll have Laggy's point of view in a moment. There we go, right on cue. So he had the perfect view of this, and Owens has gone in very deep there. Dragster swapped it. Oh, Owens has spun it. I literally thought he was going to go into the wall there, but somehow he survived all of that. I don't know how he did, but getting a little bit of a brake lock up there, getting close to DT, but you could definitely tell there's a little bit of maybe a pace difference. I'm not too sure. Maybe DT's not quite comfortable at this stage early in this race, but to have a look up the inside, my teammate's already in the lane, so I think he's definitely going for two stop. If we have a look, no, we've spun. We've spun, and we've also taken DT with us. And now that's dropped us all the way back from, I think, 4th to 8th now. So this is not what I wanted, especially just to keep the whole of this championship lead. Here's a replay of it in slow-mo. Now you can see here, I was really sizing up a move from DT, but probably braked a little bit too late there. Like I said, I thought the move was on, but in the end, it wasn't. And thankfully, I didn't go straight forward into the barrier to get front wing damage, but I did apologise to DT afterwards once I watched the footage back, but someone was going very wide there. I think possibly it was Formula Dragster, so it's really just having a shocker race at this stage. Now got both the replays from Owens and R8. Running very wide is Owens, so let's see, R8's probably got a bit more momentum here. Ferrari A team to Ferrari B team here, you could say. If you, as Owens lets R8 go through there. It was a little bit of contact between those two, and now these guys are going to go side by side. Like I said, there's plenty of battles going on right up and down the grid throughout this whole race. There's nothing between these two, but I think R8 may have the momentum. Up the inside he goes. No, Owens has still got it around the outside. So turn now to the inside line. A little bit of a touch there, but R8's got the line now and should have it complete, but Owens is not done with this yet unless R8 covers his line. No, he doesn't cover the line. Owens back up the inside. Give him a little bit of a squeeze there, and actually R8 gets a little bit sideways there coming off the corner, and now he's lost a spot to, I think that was Kiowa. So it is now actually, he ran wide at 14, so let's now give it, that was an easy spot back to Kiowa's there, so not mucking around. This is what it looked like when my incident with a DT from a DLG Gamble. He would be thanking his lucky stars that my car especially ghosted, because if it didn't, he would have been absolutely screwed. But this is my teammate obviously coming in, so he's going for the two stop, I think. You could he'd probably get away with a one stop, but he probably didn't feel comfortable. On now, back we go with Laggy. Is putting Formula Dragster, who's still struggling even in these. And he was just a bit sideways coming out of that corner there, and that's an easy spot for Laggy up in the, I think, what was that? He'd probably be a performer up the grid, but he's another guy in for an early stop. So Mitchie's definitely doing the two stops. So onto the soft tyres he goes, and away he goes. And now starting to catch up to Formula Dragster here. Yeah, you can see there. Zombie set the fastest lap of the race, obviously, but I actually set the fastest first sector, even this late on with the tyres worn so much. I was very surprised. You can see now Dragster just going very wide there. He's really starting to struggle. I don't know what it is. He just did not feel comfortable whatsoever. I think I even said in the party chat that I could just feel something was going to happen very soon with Formula Dragster. Now we're going to go through into turn 12 and 13. Literally right on cue, there he goes. He's off the road, so he's probably burned up those tyres a little bit. Thank you to Penske for the footage on the top right, but yeah, that's really dropped him way back down the field now. There's Spagbell, who's already a lap down already, even on lap 8, sorry. So he's already a lap down, so terrible race for Spagbowl. So down to lap 8, and someone's off the road. That's actually DT's off the road. So I think maybe he's burned up his tyres too early as well. So now that's put Laggy up into 4th and me up into P5. I think I can't remember who's leading the way. Probably Oceania still leading the way. But 4 Minute Drags has actually left the session now. I wasn't really sure what the heck was going on there, but well, it is what it is, really. But literally about 20 or 30 seconds later, Oceania's left the session. He literally had a valid reason. I think it was either, I can't remember whether his internet had issues or whether he had a power cut, literally like a short period of time, and that's really cost him. Especially he was leading the race as well, and now on lap 9 his AI car is now pitted. So what could have been possibly his first race win in AOR is now turned to absolute disaster. He was wanting an invite, but it was a little bit difficult for most of us. Now R8 coming in for his one and only stop, so he's onto the mediums. Now, like I said, if you got a lot of pace on the mediums, you could get these home. He's here on lap 10, and he comes out behind Conrad and ahead of Kiowa. So those two are going to have a lot of battles for sure. But there is 4 Minute Drags' AI-driven car. I don't know whether he had issues with his internet or whether he just left in frustration. Who knows? But here's R8. Kiowa's putting a move up the inside there at turn 9. And she gets a little bit caught up in the side pod there and get a little bit wide. I don't know whether R8 will be too thrilled with that one, but that's really put him off now. Just needs to get his head back down and get racing again. But probably tell the tyre wear. It was pretty even for most of the tyres especially, but I think now you'll be able to see there's a few guys coming into the pits. So Laggy's definitely going to stay out because he's on a different tyre strategy, but Gamble and Sly have come in on lap 11. I felt these tyres were right to go to one more lap, so I thought, like I said, take them for one more lap and maybe see what they'd like afterwards. But I mean, it didn't feel too bad. It was fairly late on in the stint anyway, so it'd be nearly time to put on a set of soft tyres. But here's the leaving the lane, so obviously Gamble comes out behind Mitchie. Might be in a bit of a battle here with the Zombie. So both these guys are on, I can't remember. Gamble's definitely on the mediums. Not sure about Sly. I think he could possibly be on softs. I'm not sure, but anyway, I felt it was probably about right to come in for the pit stop here, and this will probably confirm why. Just having a little bit of a slide coming out of that dreaded turn 14. But the way entry into the pit lane is just so weird around this track. You've got to not bin it around here. I literally, when I was doing practice races, I literally nearly had moments coming around that corner coming into the pits, but we're now in the pits for our one and only pit stop, so interesting to see where we pop out compared to the others. So Sly is definitely on soft tyres, so away we go on the softs. So Sly's gone through, Mitchie and Zombie will probably go through as well, so does Gamble. Probably going to pop out just ahead of my teammates and that probably is one of the disconnected cars. So remember, Mitchie and Zombie are probably on 2 stops as well as my teammates, so they're probably not going to be factored into this, but probably lost a little bit of ground compared to the rest because they're already up at turn 4. This was lap 14 on to 15. Zombie now starting to put the moves on Mitchie up into turn 1, and that's just fairly simple, really. That this might have happened maybe after it may have happened after my pit stop. So that's now Zombie up into P3. Like I said, he's still pushing on just to try and see how far he can go before he puts on those super soft tyres. But lap 15 here, that was an absolute terrible corner, I'll admit, but that was my first corner cut, would you believe? Just taking it nice and cautiously through 7 and 8. Wasn't really going to burn the tyres too much there, but as you probably see on the top right, Laggy's now in, so it'll be interesting to see where he comes out. I think compared to me, even though he is on super soft tyres and definitely fresher rubber, he'll be definitely quicker later on. So here he comes out of the lane, coming into turn 1. I lock up big time there, so look, I could have had a fair gap to Laggy, but now it's just going to be interesting to see if I was pretty keen on just to hold him behind as much as I could, maybe burn up his tyres just so I can have maybe a hope of being maybe on the podium, getting some decent points, and just going to, well, I won't be racing at the Japanese Grand Prix. I will be producing a highlights video. I decided of that round, so actually get the second warning for doing the nearly exact same thing like I did the previous lap. So, but now, end of lap 16 now, you can see Laggy's now really starting to put the pressure on me. I knew I was up for a bit of a fight, so I decided to put up with the fight, especially so I know Laggy's on the fresher rubber, so I do have his point of view as well. You can see how we're going side by side. I've got to cover the inside line here and make sure he doesn't go up the inside here. Both our hands of anger have gone up. Still managing to just hold on there. May have compromised his line a little bit there, but hold on for the time being. I knew he was going to have a look up the inside of 4, so I decided to cover him. It was going to be interesting to see if I get a better exit here. Look at Lag, he's making up so much ground there. Just a little bit of a crisscross here. Just hang on for the time being, but this is probably hurting my cause as well, and probably going to hurt me a bit further on down the track versus the guys that are up the road at about even, I think, turn 9. So I probably knew I was going to be a little bit of a shot duck, especially with Laggy on the super soft tyres. Even got a strategy change to come in and change onto the super softs, but I just wanted to take these tyres to the end and just gain as many points as I could, especially compared to Zombie. But you can see I locked up going into the final corner, covering Laggy. Tries to do the over and under, but it wasn't quite successful this time around. But now we're going side by side down the front straight. Be interesting to see who outbrakes each other into turn 1. I probably have to outbrake myself a little bit, but now I think now is probably the time to throw up the white flag, because Laggy's now finally got through. Let's put him up into P5 for now, but it'll probably be, I think, once Mitchie and Zombie pit, he might put him up into P3 on the podium, I think. So, well, it was a great fight nonetheless, and probably Laggy may agree, may not, but yeah, I tried hanging on with him, but it was just all in vain, really. So, nothing I could do there at all. So, anyway, lap 19, on board with Zombie Hunter. You can see DLG Gamble has got a heap of pace on those medium tyres. Up the inside he goes. Bit of a lock up there. That's a pretty easy move. I think Zombie's starting to feel the effects of tyre wear there. And there you go, to confirm Laggy's pace. He's just gone into the 134s. Yeah, 134.2. 5.7 there. So you can just tell he's got a lot of pace now on those super soft tyres. Might be interesting to see who he catches up to later on. But now finally, in the end of start of lap 20, Zombie and Michi do come in for their second pit stops, and I think my teammate does as well. So they've really thrown everything at it just to try and get a decent position. Probably won't lose out too many spots here, but here's Michi coming in. Super soft tyres for him. I think it'll be for the majority of these guys. I would assume my teammate will be doing the same thing. Let's find out. Yep, I think super softs, and away he goes. So I think Zombie will be in the exact same thing as well. So I think Owens will probably come out with a little bit of clean air to Ikawa's. But here's Exodona's car, AI car. He was literally furious at what happened with his little, I think it was like a power glitch from memory. So he was just so furious. He was leading comfortably, and it was all just ruined because of one power glitch. But now Zombie, you can see, putting those super soft tyres to good use up the inside on DT. He's probably been on those mediums for quite a lot longer. Oh, I'm not sure exactly when DT came in. Probably came in maybe the end of the lap after he spun. But here's Zombie a bit later on lap 21. I think this is going to be side of R8. It's a corner cutting warning for that. But now Michi's starting to catch up to his teammate here, and I think there's going to possibly be a swap of positions here. I don't think really DT's putting up much of a fight here. He's probably, like me, really, a bit of a shot duck, so that's easy for Michi. And I dare say he'd probably be getting R8 very soon as well. So anyway, lap 22, Zombie now sets the fast lap of the race. We do have a 16, I think it's about a 16-second gap back to him, so got a fair margin. I was a little bit worried he would start gaining on me. You can see now I was still pushing on, going very wide there at the exit of turn 8. And like I said, it wouldn't be too long before Michi would get close to R8K here. I'm not going to have a look here up the inside here at 1. Oh, R8 getting a little bit sideways coming out of that corner. They're going to do a switch back here. Get into it. Yeah, not quite for R8. On R8 for Michi, but might have a look here. Might go send it here down into turn 4, does he? Very way back, and yes, he does send it up the inside. Here's R8 a little bit of room here, but now it's going to be very difficult to hold on right around the outside here. But R8 tried everything, but he's trying to do a bit of a crisscross on that, but it hasn't worked, and that's put R8 back to 7th, and Michi up into P6 now. I think DT, oh, that's very wide there. Got caught up on the curb so much, did R8. It's lost him so much momentum. That's given DT easy momentum there. I think R8 may put up a little bit of a fight here. Up the inside he goes. Up into the final corner, going a little bit sideways there, and I think finally DT gets that spot back. I think R8 did put up a little bit of a fight, but it was all in vain. But again, Zombie setting another fastest lap with I think it was a 130, what was it, 130.3812. I could have easily binned it there coming out of turn 4. That was a big heart-in-mouth moment, I can tell you. But yeah, I mean, the gap was dropping a little bit, but I mean, it was probably going to be a long shot, especially in these last 4 laps. But he's spag bowl. Pretty much he went into, I think, into his menu and just decided to just get out of the way. He's many laps down here. I can't remember exactly how many laps he was down at the time. Probably about 3 laps now. So it's cut a bit further on. Yeah, probably noticed that DLG Gamble was behind. Laggy actually got DLG Gamble, but actually, for some unknown reason, I think Laggy may have had a screen freeze, and that's actually put him back into P3. So this is what actually happened. So Gamble very late braking down the turn 1. That's given Laggy a bit of momentum here. Going crisscross he goes. Might have a look here up the inside area at turn 4. It is a very hot spot here for passing. I was hoping these guys would battle a lot just so I could catch up here, but there goes Laggy up the inside. Very easy move there. Gamble did think about doing the crisscross here, but decides against it. So here's Laggy going through here. Probably won't be able to tell, but there was actually a screen freeze, I think. Did find out at the end. I may have found out in the live stream especially. You can watch the live stream back if you want to. There's a yellow flag behind there. I wouldn't be surprised if that was actually Spagbowl who spun. So I will leave a link to the live stream if you do want to catch up on this race especially. But that was my first moment there at turn 14 in a fair while. So I've lasted about 25 odd laps. We're not stuffing up that corner, but yeah. Not really too bad, but now lap 27 with a little bit of a lock up there. Yeah, nothing really was going on. The guys in front, I think, were still battling on. Let's find out DLG Gamble's point of view. He's covering the inside line here, making Laggy go the long way here. He's going to hold on to, yeah, Laggy is a little bit laggy. Sorry for the bad pun, but it is what it is. So you can see this battle's really going on here. Sly's really gone really. I think he probably would easily win the race now. I think he's about, what is it, about 8 seconds? Now, this is probably what I saw from my point of view, even up in the distance. So these guys are really battling hard for second and third. It would be especially crucial for Laggy, who's trying to gain points on myself and Zombie. So to still be in this championship fight. But now we're about to set off for the final lap here around the Malaysian Grand Prix. for like the final time on this game. I mean, who knows when it'll come back, if it ever does come back. It was yellow flags between turns 3 and 4. That probably was Spagbowl again. Here's my teammate getting closer to Conrad straight here, because I think Conrad's been on those mediums for quite a while. Owens has been on those super softs for not very long at all, so this should be pretty simple move here going into turn 1. Yeah, the inside he goes, and I don't think Conrad really puts up a fight. And a little bit of a fight there coming into turn 2. He's got probably much better drive there, and that's up into P9 for Owens. Now, but his championship's not really looking great. His chance of defending his title there, but he's Spagbowl again. Just getting out of everybody's road there. He probably just needed to pull out of the way. I mean, it is good to get out of into AI mode because you can't ghost, but there you go, he's been lapped again. So I think possibly he was about 4 laps down from memory, so literally the guys in front, they battle right to the end. I think Gamble just held off Laggy for the moment, but we come home in P4. I mean, it's a case of what could have been, really, had I not tangled with DT earlier on. I mean, it could have been easily like second or easily battling with the sliders, but Spagbowl and Michi smashing their cars into the walls. There'll be a lot of work done, I think, for the next races especially, but yeah, there you go. Sly 666 finally wins his first AOR race, so many congratulations to him. He's been on a charge, really. He's got so many podiums in the recent past. I think Frederick Vasseur will be very happy with him at this stage. So that's I'll just show you who got penalties throughout this whole race. It wasn't too many, but there's the final standing. So Sly wins his first race. Gamble and Laggy in 1, 2, 3. Myself in 4. Zombie 5. Mitchie and DT, what could have been for both of them in 6th and 7th. R8 in 8th in his return. Owens, my teammate, in 9th, and Kaiwas in 10th. Just outside the 10, Conrad in 11th. Frizy in 12th. Exodona, what could have been as well had he not disconnected. Foreman Dragster in 14th. And Spagbowl, like I said, finished 4 laps down in 15th position. So championship-wise, we gained a couple more points. Now 15 points between myself and Zombie. Laggy a further 8 points behind Zombie. And Sly obviously gained a lot more into 4th place. But Owens now, it's really looking unlikely he'll be defending his title. Might be handing it over. DLG Gamble's now into the 10 as well. But Constructors, Ferrari have a, I think, 72 or 73 point lead over Renault. So we haven't quite wrapped up the Constructors yet. Could do it at Japan next time out. But Sauber in 4th, Red Bull 5th, Force India and McLaren 6th and 7th. Mercedes are now 8th, and of course Williams still at the bottom. So, like I said, I'm missing the Japanese Grand Prix. I was just hoping and praying, literally, that my championship lead goes, but knowing Zombie, he'll be very fast. So, anyway, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button if you did enjoy it. Comment, you leave the comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania League racing action here on F1 2017, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. And you can also follow me on my social media links. They'll be down in the description. But until the next time, which it will be obviously a highlights video for the Japanese Grand Prix. And of course, the next time I'll be racing is probably, the United States Grand Prix. So until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.